Alright, what's up guys, Nito here, and welcome back to another episode of Noteworthy Interactions. So today I am in the kind of early end game of PoE2, and I am playing a Warbringer, and we're doing some armor break with some block stuff, and my main skill is Molten Blast, which looks like this, and I am using Cast on Ignite with Frost Wall. Impetus, energy retention, and fortress. So basically, when we ignite the enemy, they get a frost wall around them. And the reason we want frost wall is because of armor explosion. So Molten Blast was going to proc armor explosion because, again, we have the armor break from all hits from our ascendancy. And that actually armor explodes the frost walls. So when the frost walls get summoned around the enemy, they're going to explode right next to the enemy and do a whole bunch of damage. So that's kind of the core interaction of the build. Just to really quickly show the rest of the tree. We're just getting some fire stuff over here, over here. We're avatar of fire, so we're fully converting everything to fire, and that's mainly so we can proc ignite a lot, just so that we have more chance to cast on ignite. And we also use a jewel that has meta skills gain increased energy. This is going to allow us to get just enough energy to proc cast on ignite after igniting 2 times. So each one is going to do like 52% of the energy required to proc. So we proc quite frequently. And yeah, the rest of this is just like we got some armor break stuff, damage against fully broken armor. Even though we are doing Avatar of Fire, like we don't actually care about we don't actually care if the enemy has armor. We just want to fully break the armor and proc the armor explosion. And the armor explosion itself does fire damage anyways. So yeah, Avatar of Fire is mainly just for helping us ignite stuff, and we don't actually care about the armor. We also do extra damage to heavy stunned enemies, so we have some stun build-up stuff on the tree. We got some AoE for like the helping extra overlaps and stuff like that. Gear-wise, simple one-handed mace with some LE damage and some Fizz damage, and all that gets converted into fire. And then we have extra stun build-up on there and extra elemental damage with attacks. I'm using this helm for some extra Fizz damage reduction. We have a pretty decent shield that also has Fizz damage reduction, and then some life and some armor, and some res. The rest of the stuff is pretty straightforward. This amulet gives us a bunch of spirit. That's going to allow us to run Cast on Ignite plus Time of Need, which is going to heal us periodically. Overwhelming Presence is super important because it lowers the enemy ailment threshold, so it makes them easier to ignite, and it also makes them easier to stun. And we also apply fire exposure when we heavy stun an enemy, so it's super important to be stunning things frequently. Then we use, for single target, we use Perfect Strike here. And actually, just to go over the other, we are on a 6-link. I got super lucky. In the very first map I ever did, I got a Perfect Jeweler, so we have 6 links in our main skill here. But so it's just Armor Explosion, Scatter Shot for the extra projectiles, more weapon elemental damage, more chance to ignite, and then Fire Pen. And then Perfect Strike has Fire Infusion, Eternal Flame, because it's guaranteed to ignite, so you ignore that less chance to ignite downside, but you get the increased duration of ignite, which is pretty good. And Conk Effect for more damage, and Close Combat for, again, more damage, because this is a very short-range skill. We also use Bone Cheddar just to help kind of like clear up enemies in packs, and it's kind of our execute skill. And, we do also use Shield Wall on occasion. If stuff gets in our face, we just throw down the wall. That's also going to trigger the armor explosion in the same way as the ice walls. So I'll just kind of show you the build in action. We're in tier 4 right now, and we'll see how it goes.
Molten rock.
So there's the ice wall. You can see all the explosions happening. So you can see we're getting 51% chance per ignite. They jump up there? Apparently not. They can jump down, but I can't jump up. So these big tanky guys are a lot harder to ignite because they have higher ailment threshold. So sometimes you want to like use your perfect strike to kill those guys because it's harder to get the ice walls proccing. Or you can just drop a shield wall and blow up your shield wall instead. You can see it's pretty decent at taking out rares from a range. Or you can just run up and perfect strike them. See if I can try and find the boss real quick. I think this is the boss here, yeah. One of the most annoying parts about this skill is that it actually moves you forward whenever you use it, which is kind of not what you want because it's a lot more effective when you're at a range as opposed to when you're up close. I wish there was an option to like make it so that you don't actually move, and I tried like always attack in place, that kind of thing, and it doesn't seem to change anything, unfortunately, but anyways, that's what the bossing looks like. You can kind of like stay safe and shoot them from across the screen for the most part. And the ice walls do stack up quite a bit and do pretty decent damage. So yeah, that's kind of the build so far. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it. I'm probably going to grab the other block-related node in the Warbringer Ascendancy, and then after that, I don't really know what I want to do because the other armor break node is actually kind of useless for us because we don't really care, since we're doing pure fire damage, we don't actually care about breaking armor below 0. We could do like Encased in Jade. I did test this out. It's okay. It's good for like avoiding big boss attacks that you can't dodge roll out of because I am pretty slow. Unfortunately, Warrior is definitely on the slower side. But yeah, so we're probably going to grab Turtle Charm, and then after that, I'm not sure. I do want to try out some of the Warcry stuff, but because our main skill isn't really you know, compatible with Warcries because it's not a melee skill. Not really sure. The other thing we could try is doing kind of like a totem setup, and I'm not sure if you can proc cast on Ignite from totems, but you can use Molten Blast with the totem. So you could do a Molten Blast totem build, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much where the build's at right now. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I guess we'll see kind of where it ends up. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.